Welcome, folks. This is House Corrections and Institutions Committee. It is Friday, April 3rd. We're finishing up our work for the week and we need to spend some time just kind of talking as a committee in terms of what we would like to do over the next couple of weeks and talk about what issues and folks that and testify. I do have to step out for a moment. I do have a meeting that's scheduled at 11:30. I hope to be back. But if I don't come back and you're all finished, it's time to go home. Hope everyone has a really restful and a weekend with family or resting yourself, however it works for folks.
Easter to everyone,
Happy Easter, happy Passover,
or whatever holiday.
but at least before you all leave, if someone or a couple people, make sure you take some notes. I should be able to circle back here before lunch.
Okay.
Go from there and I can work with Tate on Monday. Tate's still homesick.
So John, victims notification, I'll start there.
Okay.
We need to get in, the prosecutors, which is Tim.
So Tim Lueders, right?
And Kim McManus.
Are we discussing which topic?
Well,
Oh, yeah, the
Victims
I
notification.
didn't hear.
Is there anybody that anybody else wants to talk to or issues on that issue before somebody suggests a different issue? Will?
Nope. Like who else would be out there?
Huh?
I forget the young lady's name who was a victim and was on with us, but then had to get off.
Kelsey Rice.
Right, yeah.
Would it be, I would like to hear from her. So
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll write her name
She
down.
said she wanted to.
Kevin wants to hear more. We want to hear more. Give her the
Our
opportunity.
little leprechaun is on.
Well. Is there anything else on the victims notification one specifically?
I think that brings us to where we need to be.
Thanks.
I can't come up with anybody else who wasn't here yesterday.
Right. Because we know that we have to get DOC back at some point, and that's not gonna be this week regarding like this form and stuff. But that one. Go ahead.
Maybe pie in the sky, but if we could figure out someone at the systems level, the computer systems level, that we
ADS,
could at
yeah.
least voice our crazy ideas as to how things could be improved.
You're not crazy. We've got to get.
We can, so
ANS or
ADS, so
ADS.
put that on the list, Sean, if you do.
Say that again?
ADS.
Yes.
And to discuss potential networking or.
Right.
We'll word it better later.
Because otherwise it's
Um,
gonna just limp along.
it's
computer. I mean, we're talking about a brand new form.
Yeah, but we can get more specific after.
Okay.
All right, so any other issues that what other topics do you guys want to talk to? I know that there's a few up here that we brought up, Troy.
Yeah, I'd still like to continue the work that we had begun but didn't finish for H550 on healthcare. So getting WellPath in here to talk specifically about gender affirming care within our correctional facilities.
I don't think John can write that fast. That's where you caught up. I got it. Okay. Continue. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
you got WellPath and healthcare, okay? Because I knew that was gonna be one of the top ones.
But Troy, is that like what else would we need for
Other than all that.
550?
well. I mean, let's start with WellPath
Okay.
because they're gonna tell us,
Way to go.
yeah,
Or give us
if
a
there's anybody else that we need to talk.
Okay.
way we're gonna fork. So what else, what else does somebody want to talk about?
Connor has his hand up.
Connor?
We took the dam study language out of the capital bill just for time. But I know Ben Green has some comments on that.
Okay, so Ben
Maybe you
Green
can
dam.
put the beds. So yeah, if we could get Ben Green in, that'd be great.
Oh, are we on the other topics now?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
this is your chance.
And does that include like, because we're gonna go visit the dam too, right? Don't we want to go see that? Is that?
Mississippi, but people. We do want to go see the Waterbury Dam.
Okay, and then visit.
Actually kind of would, that's the.
That would too.
That's not a date. We are on camera, so.
Yeah.
So Green for the dams, a site visit tour to the dam. Anything else about the dams, Connor, or? Just that for now? Okay.
Yeah, it was just the whole issue of whether to consolidate them under
Yeah,
one entity or
right.
not. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
That's what I was gonna say, consolidation, question of
Yeah.
consolidation, people who are currently responsible for,
Yeah,
I think it would be good.
we'll start with one person and then work our way and see what, you know. Cause I mean, seems on one level to make sense to consolidate, right? And on the other hand, maybe there's a reason, but it doesn't seem to make sense, but once another topic, so get through this as quick as we can. Brian?
So starting with the topic and then going to the people, the topic is legal representation for federal detainees. And I think there are different angles into that in terms of who would present. One was brought up yesterday with the techie folks about how many devices do they have? How are they set up? Is it significant what they do? The other part of it is just to get an update, and I don't know if this would be from DOC or if it would be from one of the advocacy groups like the Asylum Assistance Project or ACLU, but what's going on? Like, has it improved? You know, what's the
And-
space like?
What's the status of our letter? We had talked about redoing a letter with Bryn,
Yep,
so maybe getting that conversation going too.
yep.
Sean, catch up.
So then legal representation in regards to,
ICE detainees.
Specifically for the
Right,
federal
right,
detainees, yes.
definitely.
And we heard testimony yesterday that the victims' advocates felt that there was a fairly robust translation services and that there's this supposed number of laptop or
Pads,
pads
yeah.
available for lawyers who are coming in for victims.
Right.
So
Stories aren't meshing is what we're saying.
Yeah, but how are they running them if we don't have Wi-Fi and we don't have the
Well, and I thought I understood Haley,
connections?
I'm sorry, Mary, I thought I understood Haley to say that they had set up a hotspot or two perhaps.
Well, they
Yeah,
did,
Limited
but,
sort of.
but,
You're not running them way through, it's being one room. basically.
right.
and
well,
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah,
So, and maybe someone here can answer it, but like, don't you need, like, if you're gonna use a phone and any kind of phone, cell phone, and you clear everything off of it, but you're using it just for translating, you still need to hook up to
Right.
Wi-Fi or something,
Right, that's
right?
what I was saying, we need.
So is that what she was getting at, that there's Wi-Fi in the areas where?
well, the Wi-Fi isn't absent from it.
it's not absent for the facilities.
It's not as expansive as it needs to be.
I see, so like out in the, like when you go into CRCF, like out front there, like in
Yeah, I
the
wouldn't be able to-
office.
I wouldn't be able to.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Anything one of us says is speculation, but
Yeah.
the general idea is probably it's either in booking or there's a room where you meet your clients that has Wi-Fi.
They have something
It just
there.
doesn't have it out in the general
Yeah.
quarters area. But we'll find that out in our conversations.
Yeah, that was great news.
Seemed like it
Actually,
was.
hopefully, yes.
So you got enough there to make it legible and understandable?
Yeah,
Okay,
Well, that's ADS again, although they've been invited. We can invite them again.
that's a whole other question.
Yeah, that's correct.
well, I'll write that down though, Brian, that it is ADS in that situation.
Yeah, for at least part of this conversation.
Okay.
So
Definitely.
what else? I mean, we don't necessarily need a million things, but if there's other things that are, yeah, well,
Yeah, I apologize for loading our plate up even more, but I had someone reach out to me about wanting to discuss plastic alternatives.
probably I mentioned that to Alice the other day. Plastic alternatives
Yeah,
in correctional institutions. And you know who it is, right?
yes, I
So-
will pay attention to
Yeah.
it. I just
Right.
want,
Plastic alternatives.
like, basically like trying to minimize the use of like plastic in our
That's
facility.
what I
So
thought.
I'd be curious, and I was gonna follow up with them, kind of what you guys would maybe want to hear from them. I'm assuming lower cost alternatives and then also environmentally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they use for plastics, and I mean, I know when I go to
That's why I don't
McDonald's.
know about it either, so I think it'd be interesting to learn a little something about it.
Just a quick question there. Cause I don't know, do they eat, like, did they eat on stuff, like on ceramic and silverware?
I
I
think
think
they
they're trays
used to
like in
have
schools.
trays, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like a.
Okay. But do they don't get, do they get real silverware though?
I can't.
I don't-
They don't even get real toothbrushes.
Why don't we find out on Wednesday when we go to the prison?
Okay, sounds good.
Right,
We can ask
Yeah.
them these questions too.
Cause I think I know the answer, but I like, you guys know, I always say that, I don't want to speculate, I give you an
Right.
answer, and then somebody goes, well, he said it was silverware, and it's made out of wood, well, you know.
Right.
So anyways, we'll find out though, so, you know, But you understood with the concept of what I was asking,
Yep,
because what matters, because you get the notes.
right.
Anything else? Mary's thinking hard. Connor again, while Mary's thinking.
Yeah, without getting into the politics of it, we should probably start talking about the state employees' return to work after that labor board case.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've rented a lot of space in the meantime, and what are the ramifications of that? So,
So, put that in the context of space utilization or whatever. Because the actual contract obviously is none of our business, but the use of space and the cost of that is our purview.
I mean, that sounds like a BGS thing,
Probably, but it doesn't mean we won't.
right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, BGS, yes, but we'll check in with them.
Well, also, is it our understanding that VLRB decision will be appealed?
Yeah, we'll be appealed.
And
does
whether or
any-
not it stayed.
And does anybody have a guess of what timing on that is? I mean,
I don't.
because I'm interested in this, but it may not be actionable for
No, but we
some
can
time.
put it on our list and
Yeah.
And does that mean we get Steve Howard in here?
I think we should.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
You just wanted to talk to them.
Well, that would give him a good lead in.
and that will be, I don't know that will be something that comes up next week because as Brian pointed out, we don't know where this stands. But it's good to have it on our list, it's better to have too much on a list than too little. So
right.
Mary, did you think about?
I was just going to say that's important to discuss it so we have a thought process going forward.
Yeah,
No matter if it goes to,
perhaps we could talk about the Windsor prison. In all seriousness, you were thinking before Brian,
I was just trying to think of different topics.
Yes. I mean, is there anything else that's pressing that people want to talk about? I mean, pretty good.
Well, what was the big thing that we're getting at? The forensic thing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I just want to make a note of it, but I
Yeah.
know that we're
That's
sort
already
of
on the thing, but yes, put it on our list.
forensic facility.
Discussion.
That's gonna go to judiciary, it went to judiciary, so it's gonna be a little bit of time before, so.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned it before, but just bringing in Core Civic if we could to
Oh, you
touch
did, yeah.
the
Thanks.
myriad of
Yeah.
issues that they touch.
Yeah. Just basically get an update on what it's like down there, how they operate.
Yeah, I mean, like every bill we've done, like telecommunications,
Yeah.
commissary,
Yeah, how it intersects with them. Is that what you
Exactly.
mean? Yeah. I still want to go down there. I mean, we were supposed to go last year and it just seemed like it was impossible to get 3 people to go.
I'll go with him.
Really?
Joe said he would.
I don't want to beat all the same people.
And where are you going?
To
Like
Mississippi.
if you and I went and it was Sean, for example, or something, but if it's 2 of us from the same spot in the same party, it doesn't make sense to go.
No, I'd consider going.
I was just throwing that out as an idea. It doesn't matter who 3 it is. It's just, I think it should be 3 people of different perspectives and
Talk after.
yeah.
All right, and then the visits that we want to do, just to keep that alive.
Southern State.
So correctional facility,
Yeah.
right?
Women's prison?
I mean, we just
I-
there,
Oh, no,
Yeah.
but we're going to St. Albans, right?
We're going to St. Albans.
I meant to say St. Albans.
Okay.
because we've done the.
And we already have listed, but might as well put it since we're doing the trips, is the dams, the Waterbury Dam.
Yep.
Kevin? Is
Those
there
that get tomatoes thrown at me. I'm still interested in understanding the pros and cons of eliminating earned time.
I am too.
Hold on.
That's different.
That's-
Issue than we're on, but we'll
Well-
skip for you.
When we're in the correctional facilities, we probably could get a little insight from those who are involved.
But
We're not
I
gonna
do
go
know,
about that.
I do know that
Or
Chris
Testimony.
Pritchard's person is coming to visit us. And which one was Chris's bill? It was last,
Second look.
52, yeah.
yeah, well, his was second look, right?
Yeah.
No,
Which one is it?
No, 252 right there. First column.
Okay, so that's H 252. Let me just write that down.
So,
Yeah, she's gonna come up and see us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's different than our,
No.
I'm sorry.
no, it's not. 252 is prohibiting earned time for second.
Oh, okay.
It's part of it. It's not the whole thing.
You might
Well,
want to prioritize this list because it is getting pretty.
Well, they'll prioritize it when they figure out how
No,
to
I
fill it.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, we could write everything that's on the board up there.
Oh, yeah.
What we need to
To
prioritize.
Kevin's point, and I think, I don't know that anybody else wants to beat this to death either, but to your point, when we go, we're gonna be limited on what we can talk to. If somebody's a union worker, you're not gonna be able to say, hey, how do you feel about? And they're we being in the grocery store, you might be able to say something, but on the job, we have to watch how we do things.
Don't call.
You know, unless it's a union rep, for example, right, Connor?
What's that?
I said, if you're dealing with labor and somebody's in a union, you can't ask them too many questions about their job and how they feel about certain policies. You stick to the union boss, basically, when you're
Yeah,
talking
you're
about
right.
that.
Well, there's a policy about how you talk to legislators, so they have
Right.
to stay within the bounds of that. But
That's
you
what we're
can
just
talk to
talking
them, like you're saying, after work, if they're talking to you as an individual, not on behalf of
Right.
the department, then you can talk to them. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out to people. So, I mean, it's,
I'm suggesting we can ask someone to come in and give testimony.
oh yeah, that's,
Plenty of people who I'm sure would love to see it happen. So we can find people who want to talk both sides of it.
yeah. So we get 252 and the general idea of earned time.
I also, because Gina's not here, I am also writing as a visit the Berry Historical Society.
Yep.
Because she did want to get us over there.
Absolutely.
So I just wrote, it's not just
Yeah,
to,
no, that's an easy,
as a note,
that's an easy.
Yeah.
if it fits into the schedule.
And yeah, that. I think that's a pretty good list to start with. Is anybody?
Yeah.
I think that will
That's
go
good with me,
Yeah.
yeah.
at a wide range of
Yeah.
topics.
And then I know the boss said, and everybody kind of wants to be out by noon for Good Friday. So unless there's anything else, let's wrap it up and go off live.
Yep.